Everybody, sorry for being 5 minutes late. Why is it doing that?
That's not your settings.
Were you guys typing in Spanish and German?
See? That's not your settings.
That's weird. The other ones are not. Go to the unsubscribe.
What?
Okay, that was in English.
Yeah.
That's weird.
See?
So Paca Alpha's message is going to be in English.
Probably.
Hello, everybody.
Hi guys. I have sorry, I have Danny Boyos here, speaking Spanish. Steven Andrews one.
Hello, Steven. Hello, Dan.
Chris is here
Chris.
speaking German. Steven Andrews 2 was also speaking Spanish.
Hello, Steven Andrews too.
Chris wanted to unsubscribe because we were 5 minutes late.
You can't take that seriously.
Buddy Carofano's here.
Hello, buddy.
Believe in Yourself is here.
Hey, Believe.
Dean Stevenson is here.
Hello, Dean. What language did Chris put there?
Huh?
Okay, now you're did you type hola, Chris? Because well, okay, now I know it's messing with us. Hola, Paco.
You should look at your settings when we're done.
I haven't touched anything.
Yeah, but whenever it updates, it messes with your settings.
I didn't update anything.
No, it's the app updates by itself. The system updates by itself.
Well, Paco's here.
Yes, Paco's here. A ver, ¿cómo se me deja Paco? Paco, I know. Espera, no tengo ni. Vamos a ver. Paco también, me responde Paco también, mira. Paco dice, hola, hola, ¿cómo andan? Aquí andaremos en un ratillo. O sea, un small bit.
It says for a little while. It's in English on the screen.
Sí, ¿qué iba a hacer yo? Empezó las luces.
Weird. Because it looks like some of you guys are speaking other languages, and then the chat is translating it into English so we can see it. It even translated Paco's message. I don't know why.
Chris says, would you like me to speak only in 80s era high school German all night? I can do that.
No, thank you. And it would translate it into English anyway, so.
Dean says, Duki of Dunedin, spelling error. Steven says, I am typing in Española.
Okay, so now I know why it's doing that, so it's not us. The problem is you guys.
No, the problem is your settings.
I didn't put any settings at all. I have not touched anything.
Yes, but when YouTube updates, it changes your setting by itself.
I have no idea when they update or anything.
Wow.
I have no idea what's going on.
Dean says I'm the shit.
Well, he's the dookie. It says right there. So how's everybody's Saturday and you guys over there Sunday going?
Steven says aloha? What is that? Oh, that's also hello.
What is aloha?
Sorry. Aloha.
I don't know what that is.
Well, apparently,
what language is that, Steven?
I don't think will tell me. Mike Ennis here.
Hello, Mike. Thank you for joining us.
I'm gonna have to read it over here.
Now where's One-Eyed Cat when you need him? Because he needs this '62 Plymouth wagon, even though Wendy doesn't want him to have it. He needs it.
Chris says, busy day here, got a lot done, gorgeous weather.
Well, that helps.
Fernando says it's Samoan.
Oh, well then YouTube knows how to translate from Samoan, so that's interesting.
Dean says, Sunday's a fun day here. Mrs. Mexican Spec and Mr. Mexican Spec.
Oh, good. Is it a day of rest or is it the first day of work? The first day of the week. Now these cars are randomized, like I asked you guys last week, so they're not in order of year model. They're going to be jumping around all over the place.
Steven Andrews needs it. The car.
Here's a nice four-door that could be turned into a nice police car. Where are you going to find such a straight 68 Belvedere sedan? Look how straight that whole car is. It's amazing.
This is the first day of the week. Just don't tell the Romans.
I won't. I definitely will not. Got a little rust in the quarter panel, but hey, don't they all? But look how straight the body is. You can paint parts of it black, put a light bar on the top, and you're back on Adam 12. Except you're shifting it yourself with the 3 on the tree.
I like the interior color. Mike N says, saw lots of solid looking 90s Chevy/Ford trucks while in Custom Mail last week. Never noticed them until after I subscribed here. You're getting into my head, Spec.
Well, they're still on the road. They don't retire old vehicles here. They just keep using them and using them and using them.
Yeah. Steven says Adam 12.
Yep, definitely an Adam 12 car. It's only got a slant 6 under the hood, so you're not going to be able to keep up with anybody, but it'll look the part. That interior is called chamois. That's the interior color.
I don't think it's the same word that I'm thinking of.
Chamois. The same thing that you clean cars with. So you dry off the cars
with. Yeah, it was not what it was.
Kind of a bright color in a white car. Looks like the front seat's brighter than the back seat. So maybe they redid the front seat.
My guess is it will get you to the donut shop.
Yeah, it sure will. Well, maybe it isn't. That is bright too. The only thing I can do with a donut shop is sit outside and look at it. Nobody has gluten-free donuts. And you're definitely going to see a lot of cars with aftermarket steering wheels.
Dean is giving you a donut.
A donut check?
Chris is giving you a creamsicle.
No, but the official name is Chamois. Front and back. I mean, the inside and out. Hello, Lester. How are you doing today? See where the car is? See where the car is? Look at the screen. You know what those letters are. Veracruz.
Paco Alfa dice, la traducción de cada chat es independiente para cada persona. Depende de la configuración de cada uno. ¿Sí ves?
Yes. Well, entonces...
You have to check your settings.
Yo no tengo la culpa.
Pues no has checado tus settings.
Yo no cambio nada. Esta semana pasada.
Dices, come in, suckers. The water's fine.
There's a few Mustangs on here for you, Dean, and there's a few Volkswagens on here for you, Chris. But I randomized the years, so they're just going to pop in and pop out. You don't know when they're going to show up in the rotation. I asked last Sunday, and almost everybody said they wanted randomized as far as the year goes. So that's what we got here.
Actually, everyone that answered.
Well, that's all I consider.
This is God the Readers.
Oh, that's an interesting interior for a Mustang. They even did the door panels.
But Dean says, good day, Lester. I'm assuming just German? Is that German? I can't tell. Dan says, I missed 18 minutes. But you were technically here first.
Yeah, so we can let it go this time.
Dean says, 83 is awesomeness. Shadow tone paint rocks.
Somebody went out of their way to do this interior like this. That's not factory. I was on the phone for about an hour and a half with a potential client today. He wants a dent side Ford carryall, Dan. And so we'll see which one he wants to choose. It all depends on his on how much he has to spend and all that.
This is Diamond Tuck. Jean
Garmin truck,
says
yeah.
rib to feel more.
That's better. I'm leaning towards the one. I'm pushing him towards the red one that's in Guadalajara, and but he may want the beige one that's in Querétaro, which is farther south.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been in a storage place for quite a while, so I'm not sure about the tires. I'm not sure about the condition of the engine. I know it has no battery. He says he puts a battery in there to start it, but I would just figure on a new battery. And who knows about the condition of the fuel lines and all that stuff since it's been sitting for a while.
Jean says you would slide much.
I'm also going to try to push him to the Nogales border. He's in Kentucky in the Eastern time zone. So, because I have more control over the delivery and everything else. I'd rather do it the next couple at the border instead of down there.
You wouldn't.
No, because you'll be stuck on the seat. Of course, the seatbelt would help that too, Dean, to keep you in the seat.
Oh, hey Dean, I have a question for you. Help me with my homework. Dean, help me with my homework. Dean is the only one that is from Australia right now, right?
New Zealand.
From New Zealand.
Yes.
Dean, I have homework from New Zealand and Australia.
Well, go.
Well, give him a second to like pay attention and stuff. I have two words here and a couple of locations that they're supposed to be connected to. They're supposed to be connected to one location. I'm not making any sense. It's weird. So they basically gave me a map and gave me a list of words and a list of locations. And I'm supposed to locate the word with the location. Does that make more sense?
Yes.
Okay. So
are you going to type the words?
The first word is Jacona. 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 I think that's how it sounds.
There's no translation for that.
Jacona? No, it's Jacona.
Uh-huh. And the other? Hurry up.
Yeah, but the location is for Jacona is the Pinnacles.
He says nephew.
Mocana?
Coffee.
No, the Jacona. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. It's the Pinnacles, Uluru, or Katatuja National Park, Kangaroo Island, Queenstown, Waitomo, Glowworm Caves.
Google didn't know?
No, I've looked at Google so much. You wouldn't have an idea. New Caledonia and Wailajaila.
I don't think he knows. He says, I'm beat.
I know, right? Like I Googled it so much.
Hello, Glenn.
Hey, Glenn. Sorry, Glenn. Jeannie's helping me with my homework. Queensland. You're saying Queensland. I'm gonna write it down. No, it wasn't Queensland. It was Queenstown. Is there a difference? I wouldn't know. I'm sorry. I'll help you with your Mexican.
He says it sounds aboriginal.
It's if you don't know, it's like a plant.
Yes, Dan. On the newer ones, the 1985, 1986 bullnose carryalls, it is a 4-speed with overdrive. It doesn't have the granny gear in it.
Greensland? No. And the other word that they gave me is Tahona. I can't really spell that. Let me see if I can. I don't have that A in the system. Tahona, but it has has a little line above the A, the first A.
A long A. Tehuna.
I guess. But I couldn't find that on the keyboard. No,
No,
not
Dan,
Tehuna.
not Kahuna. That's in California.
Tehuna is in Dunedin. But it's not giving me Dunedin. It's
Well,
giving me
write
the,
it down because he said so.
but it's not giving me that option. It's giving me the Pinnacles, Uluru, uh, get the Tuja National Park, Kangaroo Island, Queenstown, Waitomo Glowworm Caves, New Caledonia, and Wailaila. I'm
Those,
gonna.
those are stock wheels on that, Dan. That's how they came from the factory. I like these wheels better because they're steel wheels with the small hubcaps. Very, very basic. But he says they need to bring back hood ornaments.
I had to do 15 of these words, and I only have two. Have these two missing because Google wouldn't help me.
He says it's a holiday camp.
Yeah, but it wouldn't like. I have those options, and it wouldn't give me any of those options.
And you still don't know.
Yeah,
But is it in New Zealand or is it in Australia?
it's the whole thing. It could be New Zealand, Australia, Fiji, like the whole area.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, but that's it. Like it has to be in one of those locations that I mentioned. It has to be one of those locations.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Thank you, Dean.
This is officially a Chevrolet Chevelle. It says right there on the quarter panel. Not a Malibu, a Chevelle. Hey, Uncle Doug.
Hey, Uncle Doug.
Welcome.
I can say this well is 350, right?
No. How about silver with this blue interior?
My can says no, 305.
Isn't that great? No, 292 inline six. Isn't that great? That blue interior just jumps out at you.
Chris says maybe if Tabo pops up, you could ask him. Maybe. Duxter says, have no fear, the Duxter's here. Hello,
Hello,
mister.
Duckster.
Hey, Duxter. Dean says, sounds like a Fijian kava plant. Yeah, the first one is a Fijian kava plant. It is literally it is the another word for kava. But I don't know. Like I look on Google and I look on what's the other
I don't know.
I can't remember the word for the
Kava was your wingman.
Yeah.
Yes, Dan. 3 on the tree, 292 inline six. The Chevelle was the base model. Then you had the Malibu, then you had the Malibu Landau that had the 350 and the floor shift automatic and stuff.
Lester says Dr. Yacona is an ice cream shop in Fiji. Yeah,
Okay.
but it wouldn't give me it would say Dr. Yacona and it will give me the location in Fiji. Doctor says, hey Mike. Dean says bingo, bingo. Blake Arfona says Dallas Cowboy Edition Silver and Blue.
Is that the blue from the Cowboys?
I don't know.
Because it wasn't a stock seat. I mean, that you open the door of a silver car and that blue just jumps out at you and eats you up.
Dean says Alexa or Siri. I tried Google and I tried the other one that I can't remember what it's called right now.
You have Siri, so ask.
I don't have Siri. I have Google. Siri is Apple. I don't have any Apple products. No, wait. I think Alexa. No, Alexa's Apple. Siri is. I don't remember. I don't have any of the two. No, Alexa's Amazon. Alexa's Amazon.
I don't know the difference.
Siri's Apple. Mosquito.
It's dark in here. I can't see anything, so they don't exist.
Okay. Mike says, "What's up with the headlights on the notch stand?"
What's wrong with them? Was it damaged there?
Doctor says you can actually make a GM straight 6 quite stout. It's not V8, but way better than stock. High revving.
They are pretty good engines, but I've had a lot of them that smoked, a lot of them that had rod knocks. My history with inline sixes is not great.
Dean says French New Caledonia has many awesome Kanak names. Mike said a clean Mustang.
It is with the Aztec wheels on it, and they all have all of its four wheel caps, which is a miracle in itself.
Doctor says Detroit Lion Blue is called Honolulu Blue.
And if you notice, it has T-tops, which is this is the first Mustang I've ever seen in Mexico with T-tops. They don't look like factory. They don't look like the normal aftermarket. They look different.
Mike says wait for a front photo.
I don't think we're going to have any more front photos. This is interior, and then it goes away.
It's PG-13. There's no full frontal here. Dan says I own 4 inline sixes. You didn't have my joke. Did you got my joke?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting color interior for a red car, though. And it looks like somebody added power windows, too.
Mike says, wow, good point on TikTok. He says, yep, Hendrix Racings were able to make 292 do 10 seconds per mile with 3 DC 302 C28 Holly 780 4 BBL parts.
4-barrel cars. Oh, that's pouring a whole lot of fuel down a 6-cylinder engine.
Why is BBL barrel when barrel only has one?
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
I want to know the answer to that one.
That's what it is.
Dean, why is barrel BBL when it's only one B? Driver says any interior that's not charcoal gray is good with me. Same.
Yeah.
Same. Doctor says Ford owns the Detroit Lions, and I don't think it's a coincidence that one of the Ford's two-tone truck paint schemes was Lions blue and silver.
Probably not. This is a 1988 Nissan 720 that was made into a carryall. It looks like an early Pathfinder two-door, but it's the 720, not the D21. They're hard to find, especially in this decent condition. And they don't sell for very much here anyway. After everything I add in, it would be. But
now Chris says a member of the Ford family owns the Lions, not the company itself.
Or maybe he bleeds blue.
Maybe. It's pretty good.
Doesn't do me any good. I can't have it.
And
He says standard U.S. oil industry shorthand for U.S. blue barrel, BBL. And Dan says pre-hard body. That's right. The hard body came out in Mexico in 94. So 93s, we still had 720s. Missing a door handle, it looks like, and missing a matched set of wheels. But it could be a really nice truck. Really nice, very rare. I think people were making these in the U.S. and there was a name for them. Or no, was that a Toyota? I don't remember. No, it was a Nissan. It was a Nissan, but it was a 4-wheel drive. This one's not 4-wheel drive, of course. Of course. And that front bumper needs to go. Put a regular front bumper on it. Mini truck parts used to be all over the place.
that front bumper sucks.
Yes, Dan, but it's so easy to replace. Not a big deal. Now these are different. These are different wheels than the other ones that had like 6 holes in it, and then the ones that I have that have all the holes all the way around. These are even a different set of wheels. Chris says, if they can't be bothered to fix a door handle, it makes me wonder what's under the skin they didn't fix. Well, they may not have access to the parts if they live in a small town in Mexico. A lot of people don't order parts from anywhere, or you know, could be a younger guy that owns it. He knows nothing about cars.
Fireplace here.
Hey, we're not going to look at the quarter panel here, so don't look at the quarter panel.
Why?
Don't look at it.
Okay.
Put your hand over the screen. Put your thumb over the screen. Don't look at it. Only look at the rest of the car. Hello, Vilefly.
This says the U.S. petrochemical industry has a standard sign conversion and conversion for U.S. oil barrels. U.S. SAE gross HP, which is different to electrical SAE net horsepower. Everything is written down. Firefly is clinging to the TV remote. How am I supposed to change the channel? Well, you can change it for me, I guess. Dan says nice color on this bug.
On most of this bug.
Firefly says good evening all.
But look at the color on the outside compared to the interior. It's definitely a Mexican car.
Dan says hello to Firefly and says I was gonna grill a burger yesterday and I was all out of ground beef.
That makes it more difficult, Dan.
Yeah.
Dougster said BBL is abbreviation for the word barrel, 1 BBL, 2 barrel. Holly had a 3 barrel, and of course the common 4 barrel, and there was a 6 barrel and 8 barrel. Yeah, but Mrs. Spec was asking why BBL when barrel only has 1 B in it.
Yep.
Chris says, you should have told me not to look at the quarter panel before I looked at the quarter panel. I did. I did say that. It just took time getting to New York.
No te voy a dar. Michael, Joey wants to steal my food.
You can't have it. It has too much sugar in it. It's not tuna.
He's bumping my chair. I'm not gonna give you. He doesn't
Firefly is saying, hi, Mexpec, Driveway, Danny Boyd, and all the ships at sea. Firefly, no, Firefly. I checked the price of ground chuck. Had a heart attack.
No.
Then stay away. I haven't bought ground beef in a long time.
No.
Glenn Nickerson. Unfortunately, BBL has a new meaning. Yep. Scene. Grill a burka. Is no one safe? Dan, ground chuck is better than regular ground beef. He says, Glenn, tell me, what does it mean?
What?
The BBL. Doug says, be right back. I'll go research the reason for Mrs. Beck. I thought Dean just told her.
Yeah, Dean told me.
Chris says, Firefly, $5.99 a pound for 85 to 88. 85 to 88? Wow. We're more expensive here, though. Because we're like 80, you can get 90-10 or 80-20. The 80-20 is much cheaper, but it's still over 100 pesos a kilo here. I guess we're a kilo because that's 2 pounds, right? So maybe we're not too expensive here. Dean says, I came here to be informed. About what, Dean? You know more than most of us. Wildfly, well, quality is what I serve. It could also mean, Glenn, big beautiful lady. Of course, the big is what the biggest part I have a problem with. Firefly, madness prices. Danny Boyd, El Gato. Is that what he said? El Gato.
Yes.
Yes. I have to translate it back. Firefly, I'll have to switch to chicken recipes now. I don't like ground chicken to make into a hamburger or ground pork or anything else. I don't like any of that.
I want to try making ground chicken into a pizza crust.
I don't think you can.
You can.
Dean says, but what did it mean before? Is it a boob reference? Lester says, cats can't taste sweet. Is that Joey? Yes, it is Joey.
Yeah.
The other one doesn't dare come near.
Well, he's there sometimes.
He goes to the door because he's not allowed any farther than that. Dean says, obviously not. And Chris to Dean, everything in a boob reference is the right context. BBW.
Where's the BBW?
Big beautiful woman.
Oh, this is 39 DV.
No, thank you, Dean. No, thank you very much.
You like those wheels?
They're very busy. and they're very big for this car, and they're very much something you'd have to clean.
No.
Yes, that's your department.
But because I have to brine the chicken with honey water. Chicken requires longer brine time though. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, we don't do any of that. We just put it in a pan, and I have to eat it.
I was telling Mr. Spec too that I could put the chicken with um what's it called with ranch and brine it or like make it like let it rest with ranch and for him to taste it, but he doesn't want to try it.
No, because I just bought a new barbecue sauce that has honey in it, and I want to see what it's going to be like. At least the wings that she cooks the wings, and then she puts the barbecue sauce on it and puts it back in the oven so it could, heat up the barbecue sauce. I want to see how much like molasses the barbecue sauce gets when it has honey in it. Boobs are always relevant, Dan says.
Pablo says I don't mind a 7 foot tall woman at all.
You don't.
How much is 7 foot?
Very, very tall.
Dean says BBW big beautiful
Wahine.
Maori for Hawaiian term for a cool chick.
Yeah, that is Hawaiian. There's a lot of very clean Volkswagen Beetles here. And this is looking at the engine compartment, you can see how clean a car is if the paint is still intact around the edges and stuff. That kind of leads you to believe that people were not working on the engine a whole lot. And the paint hasn't chipped off and stuff.
But it takes at least 2 days brine for time for chicken. 2 days. Glenn says, been eating chicken 3 or 4 times a week. If I want a hint of what beef tastes like, it's the drive that McDonald's or Wendy's.
I can't wait until Wendy's gets here. Supposed to be like at the beginning of next year. That's gonna be my go-to. Can't have their nuggets though, if they even have the nuggets here. I don't know. Doug says the abbreviated version of barrel (BBL) is the second B indicated the plural form, so one barrel is BL, but two barrels is BBL. Also, the second B separated the word barrel from the word bale.
What's a bale?
A bale of hay.
Oh.
Dean Stevenson says it's got injection. I'm still trying to process that, Doug.
Dan says the Beatles been repainted.
Probably. Most of them have after being in the Mexican sun for 25 years.
Dan says, Woody.
I don't think that's wood, though, is it?
Pablo says, I have never tried brining chicken in beef broth. It would make for an interesting experiment if fake beef. Dean says, Mopar K.
Where's Mopar K?
I didn't saw her.
I didn't see her come in either because she's green.
I have live chat.
She's green. I don't see her.
Like
Are you calling Mopar K, Dean? Wendy's has gotten ridiculously expensive here. Haven't gone there in a long time. That I don't doubt. It's gotten expensive. All of these places have gotten expensive.
Pablo says it'll be good or horrible. Dan says Spendy's.
Do they have like a cheap menu, like a small hamburger for $1 or something, or a small fries or whatever? And how small has the Frosty Cup gotten? Like McDonald's kept the prices, but all of their cups for the sundaes and everything else got really, really small. Bring my own cups here. Here, fill this up.
Dean says, I'm done with getting an extra free barrel of Big Beautiful liquid.
See what happens when you ask a question, why?
It was a fair question. No, I'm not saying that. The Chris says they have 6 meal deals for a regular
$6
combo.
meal deals.
Yes, $6 meal deals, but a regular combo is like 15 now.
How much is it? It's like $198 or something for my combo.
Doctor says my cup will be a kid's sand bucket.
$15 would be 300 pesos here. Well, over 300.
Apple says, I'm craving ice cream right now. Not that thick as a brick frosty shake. Lester says, the frosty did get smaller. Yeah.
How could it be thick as a brick if it comes out of the machine?
Frank is here.
Hello, Frank.
Frank says, the drive-thru McDonald's is not what beef tastes like. That's horrible.
With enough ketchup, it tastes good, which is what I do. You just got to bring a pair of scissors with you wherever you go to try to get those packets of ketchup open.
Chris says, I like this combi. Nice and original-ish condition.
It is pretty clean.
No te voy a dar. No. Ya me lo comí. Oh, ya me lo comí.
He's indignant you didn't give him anything.
It's in my tummy.
He's indignant you didn't give him anything.
It's in my tummy.
How dare you not share? Firefly, you're trying to suck the cement through a straw. The vein in your forehead is sticking out. Your vision blurs. Well, let it melt a little bit and just drink the. I like in McDonald's. I use my chocolate shake to dip my fries in. It cleans the salt off and tastes really good. Chris says you don't eat a Frosty through a straw. You eat it with a spoon. Well, yeah, but it does come out of the machine, so it can't be that hard. It's a Mopar K car. Oh, okay. Sorry, Dean. We didn't read it correctly.
Glenn says, I usually get a plain cheeseburger at McDonald's. A patty, cheese, and bun. Not bad.
Does that fill you up, or do you need like 3 or 4 of them?
That's what you used to get.
Because the patty's like tiny.
That's what you used to get.
No, I didn't. No.
No? What are you used to get?
When I was a kid?
No, when you could eat bread.
I would get a Big Mac. I moved to the quarter pounder because it had the bigger patties, and when you take the bread out, there's still something there to eat. If you get a Big Mac with no bread, 2 all beef patties, but they're like that big compared to that big for the quarter pounder. Much less meat.
Yeah, that big.
With the Big Mac, it's all about all of the extra stuff that comes on it.
Glasses for the drink. Doctor says, love a good thick homemade milkshake using the shake mixing machines and stainless steel cups so thick you can turn it upside down and 1 pour out. Strawberry tea.
We've already been over this, Doug. About the chocolate, we've already been over this.
Firefly says,
he doesn't like chocolate.
I want to see the gauges on that frosting machine. Need a hydraulic pressure reading. Frank says, McDonald's is not 100% hamburger. I mean, McDonald's, I guess, is okay, but I'd rather cook at home on the grill, so much better real beef, not bullcrap fillers and junk.
Well, that's true, but if you're like out in the southern Mexico delivering a truck down to the port for shipping, I can't really cook it at home, so we have to find something that I know the quality of the food.
That I know it's not going to make me sick,
yeah,
and it's not going to be so expensive.
Over here, I have the people trained at our McDonald's here to how to cook it, and without the bread, where to put the cheese, and then they fill up the other side of the box with the ketchup from the kitchen. So we went down to Veracruz. I said, let's go to McDonald's so I can get the same thing. Mrs. Spec explained to them, put the cheese in the middle, and then you fill up the ketchup. They said, nope, we can't fill up the ketchup. There's a rule against that. So they gave us packets. But the idiot put the cheese on the bottom of the hamburger, and it all stuck to the cardboard. So what good does that do me? You can't explain anything to these people. Chris says, it's drastically cheaper to make burgers, fries at home than to go to McDonald's. Yes, very much so. But I haven't had French fries in a long time at home. We don't have any oil in the house. We don't do any of that anymore.
Doctor says, I'm a total vanilla guy. More chocolate for Mr. Spec. I'm Lady Duxter. I do it all for you.
Thank you very much, Doug. Mrs. Spec doesn't like chocolate either. Doesn't eat very much, so.
This is Lady Duxter.
It's all for me. My son is the same way. He doesn't touch my stuff.
He came over the other day to show me his how his chocolate icicle melted popsicle melted. He was showing me, and I was like, "Can I have some?" And I just bit the tiny little bit piece of chocolate. That's all I got because I don't like
This
it.
is a. It's called Carlos Quinto here. Carlos fought the fifth, and it's like a chocolate popsicle with the chocolate coating on it. Well, we bought them at Walmart. By the time we got home, all of the ice cream had melted and dripped down onto the stick, which left the coating of the chocolate completely empty at the top. Every one of them.
Pablo says, I don't see any White Castle restaurants around here. Someone must have said it was racist. Paco Alfa says, yo prefiero unas hamburguesas que son locales, que se llaman Viejo Este. Son hechas al carbón y tienen variedades incluyendo jamón, aguacate, tocino, etc.
Yeah, ¿qué tenemos aquí? Flash Burger. Flash
Bueno,
Burger.
hay muchas ya no son las únicas.
Sí, pero la carne tiene verdura dentro de la carne. Está mezclado con no sé qué y no me gusta eso.
Flash Burger,
Y cada lugar tiene su receta de qué tiene dentro de la carne y no me gusta nada de eso.
Flash Burger tiene hamburguesas de avestruz.
Where the hell do they get that?
From the farm.
What farm?
Glenn says, did you hear there was an ostrich loose on the streets in Hermosillo?
No.
Anyway, Glenn says, when I was a boy, a cheeseburger at McDonald's was 15 cents, a filet of fish 35 cents, and a Big Mac was 55 cents. And yes, there were dinosaurs roaming through my neighborhood.
And on the sign of McDonald's, how many millions of people had been served at that point? Was it like 2? I think they started putting that on the sign when I was a kid, and the number started really low and just kept growing and growing and growing.
Barfla says, try sweet potato fries.
I'm not sure I would like that.
Maybe
but anything, as long as it has a lot of ketchup, it's fine.
Chris says, Costco frozen french fries in the air fryer tastes exactly like Wendy's fries at cost nearly nothing. We're going to have a Costco here soon.
Yeah.
We don't have an air fryer.
We don't have a freezer to hold them.
We have a freezer.
No, they're full on both sides.
Dan says, I had those wheels on my old 82 GT.
These are complete too, which is also another miracle. Because all the center caps are there.
Doctor says, hablamos español.
Doug, when you're saying that, you're writing in Spanish. She can read it on her phone, but on the TV, it's translating it to English for me. So I don't know if you're doing Spanish or not, or what you're saying in Spanish, because it's giving me English. Even Paco Alpha, it's giving me English. He says, I prefer some local hamburgers called Old West. They're charcoal grilled and have varieties including ham, avocado, bacon, etc. So it's giving me English for everybody. So you guys are putting in other languages, and all I'm saying is English still. And I didn't do that. I didn't change anything.
You didn't check your settings.
Lester says, Glenn, I remember 55-cent Big Macs in 1970.
Lee says, a ballroom is not a very secure location. Anyone can just waltz in there.
That's true. And then fall into the ball pit and not get out.
Pablo says, sweet potato fries slightly sprinkled with brown sugar. Ketchup is just out. Maybe ranch dressing.
Brown sugar. Sugar on French fries.
¿Te adoraste?
I put ketchup on anything.
Stop. Oh. He's checking your hand to see if you are food.
Chris says, I only speak German.
Ich spreche nur Deutsch.
Don't try. It's not welcome here. Why don't you just lay down and shut up? How about that? How about that?
Oh.
Dan says, El gato.
El gato.
Yep.
Lane says, ketchup on cereal?
No. Cereal is not meat or potatoes.
Have you tried ketchup on scrambled eggs?
No.
Good.
Don't like that.
Papa says, I don't go very far out of my way for the sweet potato fries, though they're okay. Just for something different.
Yeah.
Chris says, porquite.
Kite.
Dexter says, really, I don't know much Spanish, only a few words and phrases. Enough to get my Hispanic friends to say, ¿por qué?
Doug, por qué is why. Are they just saying que? Like, what are you talking about? Now he's cleaning himself. He's so embarrassing.
But nobody can see
We're
him.
on the live, Joey.
Nobody can see him.
You don't know that.
Well, if somebody can see him, I'm in trouble.
Everybody should know a little Spanish so you know when people are talking about you. What do you say?
¿Por qué pig?
Why pig?
Yeah.
Who's the pig, Dan? Here's an old beetle for you, Chris.
The doctor says yes. Why? Alpha says I thought por qué was what for.
Kind of, yeah.
It can be.
It could be. Covers lots of ground. Hey, the kite took off. Good.
Now I can eat my other bread.
If you want to be literal, yes. What for? Same basic thing.
But that's why Spanish is hard because it has so different meanings. That one word can have so many different meanings.
Mm-hmm. Look at this one, Chris. 1970 model. And again, you open the door of the beige van and look what jumps out at you.
Chris says, looks like a 66. It's actually a 69.
Right. In Mexico, they didn't change over. That side marker light tells me this is a US van.
Doctor says, I know when they're talking about me. I hear grande gringo. Just playing.
It would be gringo grande. They switch. The things are backwards in Spanish.
Well, there's the right way around. Glenn says, I know what they're saying about me is bad, so I just wear a stupid smile.
It's better they don't know you're understanding. I kind of like this interior. The two seats facing each other and the table right there. That looks like a surfboard. Read what it says on the dash.
Huh?
What does it say on the dash, guys?
On the dash?
Mrs. Beck is facing away from the TV screen. On the dashboard, it says what?
No airbags. We die like real men.
Exactly. Tony has also said that. Somebody put some effort into this van doing with the red on the door panels underneath the dash there in the back. Somebody really did a good job on this van.
Papa says,
and look at that engine. Wow.
Papa says, it drives me crazy when I see subtitles force an American expression into another culture. I want to know the foreign expression, not the same old crap. Yeah, that's why when I watch movies, I like to see them. I like to use subtitles, not um,
Translation.
translation.
Yeah.
Dean says it's hard to fake Spanish, or you'll sound like dog balls. Bafla says so portable.
Yeah, it looks nice too. I wouldn't want to stop really fast and see what that table does, but
Doctor says, would that like your amendment?
right, exactly. Nobody needs airbags.
Dean says, no non-hot chicks allowed. Doctor says, remember with cover vehicles, you're the first person on the scene of the accident.
That's true. And I haven't experienced it yet, but I did send a list of combis to a client, and I would have to drive it back because we're going to deliver it to the border here. So, I may be putting 1,000 kilometers sitting right at the windshield at some point. You know what Chris is saying there?
Gas, grass, or ass?
Yeah. Gas, grass, or ass. Nobody rides for free.
Pablo says Texans sound like dog balls when they speak Spanish. Nelson at chalkboard.
They can try. Just a few Volkswagens for you, Chris. Pick your pick of the one that you want. Chris, would you drive an air-cooled Beetle like 1,000 miles? Also, did you guys know that Tony was live on Wednesday? He's paying attention to the Volkswagen. Tony was live on Wednesday, and I didn't know it until 2 hours after he was off.
Olive is here.
Hello, Olive.
She said, "Hey everyone, just popping in because I was offline all week."
Was it a mental health week? You stayed away from the internet? I can understand that. But Tony was on at right at 5 o'clock. I'm refreshing it. I refreshed it like 4 or 5 times. He didn't come on, so I just went on to do something else. So I didn't even know he was on. Then I went back and looked, and he had finished 2 hours before him and Dr. Art. I didn't know he was going to be on, and he wasn't on at the top of the hour, so I wasn't in there. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe if it has been fully restored, you would trust the air-cooled engine to drive that far, because they do have meltdowns, when you're on the highway and stuff. Firefly says didn't catch Tony on Wednesday, and Chris stumbled upon his Wednesday live stream by accident. I didn't even know he was on. Dean, brim full of Asha on a 45 degrees.
Asha?
I don't know. This is an interesting car because most of this Datsun 710s in the US were more of an egg shaped, and this is an actual four-door sedan. And it kind of looks weird, these taillights on a four-door sedan. Uncle Doug says, I did see Tony 2 hours later like you. I didn't even know he was on, and I'm supposed to be in there as a mod. So I don't know who was in there, maybe Fubar. But I refresh and refresh and refresh. And since he hasn't been doing lives Wednesday or Sundays, I didn't spend too much time looking for it.
Olive says, more like an electrical storm thing. We needed some new equipment. Didn't hurt the mental health though.
You got 2 for 1 there, Olive.
But the Carapanos is started an hour later than normal.
Well, that's probably why I didn't see it. Because I don't get notifications of anything. Never have. Uncle Doug says, truth. Corner shop lyrics, Dean? I don't know. Is he having a conversation with somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Wildfly, ever see any auto rickshaws for sale in Mexico? Just wondering if they're imported there to save on gas or use propane with them. If you're talking about it like a three-wheeler, 2 wheels in the back, one in the front, that's like a little motorcycle. I've seen some of those. I don't know if they're called auto rickshaws, but there's different Chinese companies that are selling really small vehicles like that, and they're really late model stuff. Chris says if Tony isn't going to keep the viewership informed about changes to the streams, then F him. Shows a lack of respect for his viewers. Well, he's doing a lot of stuff, so, and I'm not going to put that on Kathy either, for her to tell everybody what's going on. Olive says A Drive. He could easily have had internet issues too. Dean says, are you able to get a day in lieu? Day in lieu? Mexican Inspector? Any idea what that is?
I've heard of it before, but I don't know what it is.
Day in lieu? No. Uncle Duck, too bad this red one is a 4-door. It's cool.
I've heard in lieu of.
They're all 4 doors, Uncle
Duck.
Instead of. There are no 2 doors here. There's the egg-shaped one, there's the 4-door sedan, and then there's the wagon. That was their whole lineup in that year.
It tastes like the submarinos, like the long ones, but without the cream filling, so it's a lot lighter.
Cream filling is good though. Chris says this has been going on for a few weeks now. Apparently he's not doing Sunday night streams anymore and didn't bother to tell anybody about it. He didn't put a community page community post or anything on it. I don't think he has any plan, Chris. He's doing it or not doing it. He's just doing other things, I guess. He's been doing them for how many years now? 8 years, 9 years now. So can't really blame him. Uh-oh, Joey's back.
Yeah,
just as you finished.
I just kicked him off the trash can.
Firefly says, I saw Colin Firth's video where he swapped in 600cc superbike engine in a tuk-tuk with a 16,000 RPM redline. Looks fun as hell. Or looks dangerous as hell. That could be.
Mm-hmm. So he says, my wife didn't understand why my 3-year-old was feeding toy cars to his T-Rex. I had to remind her it's carnivorous. Carnivores.
Yep. Good. Make sure she knows.
Dan says since about 2019 or 2020.
Yeah. 7 years. He's been on for about 8 years, I think.
Papa says danger is part of the fun.
Controlled danger is part of the fun. Not putting a big engine, high revving engine in something like that when the engine's between your legs. Or maybe, is it at the back? I don't even know. I think it's between your legs though. Gotta protect things. His ears are back like he's pissed off you didn't give him anything.
Oh, pobrecito. Daddy was gonna give you spaghetti though.
Probably.
Andrew says, Ben in shower. What is that?
This is an Opel Fiera SS.
Fiera with one R?
Fiera. Yes.
Okay, Fiera.
And it's kind of like the car that's in Brazil. Now these are the documents that you need to provide in order to ask for license plates, antique auto license plates. You have to do all this documentation, take pictures, do the whole write-up, and then it's an application for the license plates.
And this is Holden?
No, not Holden.
Uncle Doug says, CB8 motorcycles are not fun.
I've seen we saw BMW motorcycles in Guadalajara. They have a dealership there. Huge engines on those things. I don't know how people ride them. Their legs have to be spread way out. And if anything happens, you're the first one to know.
I like those like the white one.
I've never driven one of these. This one has a 6-cylinder in it, so it's got to be the more powerful, and it's got to be equal to the Opala that's in Brazil because it does have the 6-cylinder. Most had the 4-cylinder in it.
Dan says HEI on the Opel.
Yeah, they probably changed it because it didn't come with that.
Says the motor in the tuk-tuk is in the back, but he linked the Superbike's chain to the rear axle.
Oh, okay.
Dean says dinosaur oil. 2 dinosaur equals 2 barrel. Dan says Busa swapped MR2. Dan says with the Busa and MR2 transmissions.
Well, at least I know how much this car is worth because there's a guy in the U.S. Oh, here's one for you, Chris. Look at the description. 77 Volkswagen with a 1.8 liter, the liquid-cooled engine. There's a guy in the U.S. that had one brought in for Brazil, the Opala, the fastback model like this, and he was well over $20,000 to get it landed in the U.S. How would you like this sitting out in front of your house, Chris? It's a 77 that they cut out the front end, put a radiator in, and put the liquid-cooled engine in the back. So I cannot sell this to anybody because it's got an engine swap in it.
Yeah.
It's not allowed.
Dan says quite the lean to those buckets. Dan says water cooled.
Liquid cooled. Hopefully it's not water.
Olive says, yeah, I like the Opala version too.
Yeah, but this one's closer, Olive.
Baldwin says the discount master machine. Chris says, thank God my wife is out of town and not seeing that. Otherwise I'd be 12K poorer.
You can't buy it. I can't sell it to you. I can't. EPA would reject it and it would have to come back to Mexico because it has the swap on the engine, because it would need to have the 1600 Type 1 engine in it to be legal to import into the U.S. And there's another one in here that somebody swapped 1.8 in it too, but they didn't put a radiator in the front, so I don't know how it gets cooled. Kind of weird.
Dan says, "Fat out, man." Dean is still insisting on the BBL.
Yeah.
Bug beautiful liquid wagon.
I threw this in here because it's coming up to be available, and if anybody is a Renault fan, the Renaults are starting to become available in the next year or two. 2003 Renault Scenic. I'm sure you've seen them on Top Gear. These are the kind of cars that they played with over there. Driveway says more than 25 years old, EPA isn't even looking at it. No, they do. If it has an engine swap in it, they will reject it. It's not allowed into the country. We've tried that and it just won't work. That's what the customs agent told me. It has to have, it can have, like it had a 350, it can have another 350 in it, but don't try to put a diesel in it, or don't try to put a, you know, a newer engine in it or anything else. It has to be what engine is on the factura. Olive says, yeah, Mex, Brazil ain't letting those go anyway. They will let you do it, but it costs a lot of money to get them out of there.
Dan says, Renault way. Uncle Doug says, definitely a mushroom band. Dan says, Renault fan. Laugh at my ass.
Hey, don't laugh, Dan. We have a Fiat fan in the chat here today.
Fireplace is better back. Have to check on the new Fayoumi chickens. Egyptian disease resistant, smarter than average. Ooh.
Do they know that?
Yes. Dean says, Shroom alone, Uncle Doug.
I just thought you'd like to see the van because of everything they did to it, inside and out, and the roof goes up. Too bad it doesn't have its original engine in it. Of course, its original engine probably couldn't power all of the weight that they added to the van with all of that furniture inside and the roof that goes up and everything else. And of course, here's everybody's favorite minivan. This is a U.S. vehicle that came into Mexico at some point, but look how clean it is, inside and out. I had my story ready when I was driving from Vegas to Los Angeles every once in a while. And if I ever got stopped for speeding, I was going to tell them, I'm driving fast to get away from that van over there so the ugliness doesn't rub off on my car. But look how clean the interior is after all these years. It's crazy.
Chris says Dustbuster.
Yeah, that's what they were called. They got the same shape in the front. And the windshield is huge, so if you lose something up near the windshield, you're not getting it back.
Steven says Dustbuster van. My dad had one.
Buff also had one. I don't know if it was this one or the newer one with the more stubby front end. But look how clean that interior is. All the seats, all 3 rows of seats, they're bright. Well, the fronts aren't really bright red, but the back ones are bright red. But they're not torn or anything.
Dean says 25% of my DNA loves that Renault.
I sent pictures of this car to my buddy in Florida, because when we were in high school, his grandfather gave him one of these, and the story I always heard was that he hit a tree with it. That's the story I've known since 1983. So that's why I got the rims off his car that I had on my Fury. Well, I sent him the pictures. I said, "You want another one?" He's like, "No, I only want my original one." And I said, "Well, you know that's not possible, right?" Because I thought that it had a front end collision with a tree. And he's like, "No, the car's out there somewhere. I think my step uncle has it or something." I said, "How's that possible? I thought you hit a tree." "No, I hit a curb and had to replace the wheel, so I gave you the wheels." Like, why have I thought that you hit a tree since 1983? That's 43 years I've believed this story so far. Anybody want their own bottle rocket? Because this has got a V8 in it, and it's not all that expensive compared. Some people want huge money for these 4-door inline six, slant six Coronets just because they're Mopars.
Glenn Nickerson says to Butterfly, careful, it sounds like it could turn into a killer bee situation. Just what we need, super intelligent chickens, and we're doomed. Steven Andrews says, but it was a later stubby front.
Okay, yeah.
Uncle Doug says, now there is a car.
Orange Coronet.
Steven Andrews says, one of the best looking four-door sedans ever.
It does look pretty good, but it's hard to find them because just like the newer ones, the 75 Coronets and stuff like that, the majority of them were destroyed in TV shows. Those were the cars they always went to roll them over. They were police cars chasing, and then they'd roll them over, destroy them. So they're hard to find.
Ian says, that's 43 years of wrong information, Mexican Spectre. How rude.
Yep. And because just after he got, I don't know, supposedly they took the Coronet back, they gave him to drive a Corvair automatic with a power glide. And I told him, I thought, you totaled the Coronet and they gave you the Corvair as a punishment. So you can't drive fast anymore with the power glide in it. I thought that's what the deal was.
Lester says, I had a Pontiac Duster van for a short time. Mrs. LeSabre hated it.
Well, like I said, if you lose anything towards the windshield, you're never getting it back.
Steven Andrews says, Dukes of Hazzard, a team. 18.
All of the shows, Chips, that was the go-to cars. All of the Dukes of the Dukes of Hazzard. All of the shows that had police chases, those were the cars, the Fury and the mid-70s Dodge Coronet. Those were the ones that got smashed up and everything. Yep, Dan, air-cooled power glide in the Corvair. Exactly. I thought that was a punishment because there's no way he's driving that car fast.
Probably says someone say power glide.
And I didn't know that he liked it because not long ago he says, yeah, I've had 3 Corvairs. Like, you wanted another one after that first one? And I remember how he drove the Coronet because I was in auto shop and I'd bring it in there, do whatever, and I would just I put it in drive and I would just casually drive it around, to see whatever. But he gets in the car, starts it up, slams it down in first, into second, into drive. Every time he stops, he slams it down into first, into second, into drive. And he has a Porsche 911 now. I said, I bet you don't drive the Porsche like that. I bet you don't.
Samantha says, I got my Corvair power glide up to 95 miles per hour.
Ooh, that must have been scary.
Glenn says, Dukes of Hazzard should have had a Corvair. The rear engine would have made for better landings.
Yeah, but I don't think the guy driving it would have survived.
Pablo says, not a fan of the Corvair myself.
Bear Rose Garage is turning one into, what is it, a race car or something? And I saw a short of him welding in it, and there's nothing in it anymore, front or back. So he's just starting it now, but he's welding on it. So he's gonna turn it into something. If you stand back and really look at these bay window combis, they start to look really weird. They start to look low, like a loaf of bread from the front. They start to look really weird if you really stare at it for a while. There's a lot of cars that, for years I've known what they look like, and then you see it again, and you're like really paying attention to the shape of the taillights, how much room there is, on the trunk and everything, and they really start to look weird. Why aren't people buying more combis from me? Because there's a lot of options here. There's passengers, there's campers, there's cargo vans that they can do a conversion in and make anything they want to. Firefly says changing the rear tires on a Corvair is bad enough. You got to jack that shit way up.
Chris says, I prefer the bi windows buses.
Yeah, but just stare at one for a while without the front tire on it, and it just starts to look weird.
Lester says, Corvair is a good idea now with the price of antifreeze coolant.
Yeah. But are you going to spend as much on belts? Because you might. I was going to publish this one, but then I saw this picture here, and it looks like rust is coming down from the rear windows. So I didn't publish it. But it is a 4-speed manual in a Suburban, which is perfect.
It says, it's only psychedelics that makes it look and or are normal. Makes it like that. Sorry.
I don't think they ever look particularly normal. But they look like a loaf of bread is what they look like. There's another one coming up that has a high roof. Like I said, they put a 1.8 liquid cooled engine in it, but no radiator on the front. So I don't know how it's getting cooled. And I'm not really interested to send a message to find out either. Firefly says, eyes the twisted belt on the Corvair suspiciously with compound eyes. So that then you have many belts in front of you. You're seeing many a belt.
Oh,
Stephen Andrews 1. Only on Verly sedans. All other Corvairs had big rear wheel wells. I only had a belt come off once, believe it or not. Here's another one that just looks so good I had to put it on here. It has Silverado wheels on it, but I really like the color on this truck. Dean says, try moldy rye bread. I don't like rye bread, Dean. Regular or not, or regular. LSD. Not my style. I'm not questioning what is life about, what is the secret of life, or anything like that, so I don't need it. And of course, here we have the GMC front end with the Chevy thing covering it, because that's how it was sold in Mexico. Looks like a loaf of bread, especially painted tan. That's right, Lester. It does. A little bit more brown on top because it browned it a little bit more. This, of course, is two-wheel drive. We didn't have four-wheel drives here. This was only two-wheel drive. But it is a really pretty truck. I hope it looks like it's the original color. Look inside the tailgate there. The tailgate and the door jamb. The jamb is that color. So it's kind of an odd color to see on one of these. Chris says a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. Dan, Ford Tempo in the background. Oh, you just wait. I've got one coming. Firefly. But what is life without a little salt? Uncle Duck. All my cars got LSDs. LSs? Did you put the D in there too? Oh, limited slip differential. Okay. Well, I was talking about the engine. Stephen Andrews. Okay, going out for dinner. Later. Take care, Steve. Firefly. Chris, no. Stop with the Sesame Street. Olive. Yeah, that's a fairly nice blue. Blue doesn't bother me when it's on the outside. Well, you came in a little late to see that Malibu, that silver Malibu with bright, bright, bright blue seats, vinyl seats. Chris, I'm glad somebody got the reference. How long has it been since we watched Sesame Street, Chris? And who remembers any of that? Stephen Andrews. If they have Wi-Fi, I will chime back in. Okay. Dan, LS Diesel. I hope not. These are really nice trucks in Mexico. People are really proud of them. These Silverados. That's what it's called, a Silverado. It wasn't Tahoe and it wasn't Blazer here. It was called Silverado. Firefly. I recycled a lot of Sesame Street for my kids' sake. She got ahead a lot of kids during COVID. Here's the Topaz for you, Dan. Right there. Very, very clean Topaz. Ford Topaz. Firefly, you're a prize winner. Maurice will be proud. You have Sesame Street videos on your laptop? How much storage do you have on your laptop that you can keep Sesame Street videos on there? Dean says, I've rewatched on the Jones channel. So, who wants a Ford Topaz that doesn't have the problem all the rest of them did? I'm wrong with that quarter panel there, maybe, or the bumper. But the only reason to buy one of these is because of what's in the center console.
What's in the center console?
We'll see.
Okay.
If it ever gets there. Little touch up on the paint it needs. They are, Chris. They came stock on that car. The wheels. See right there in the center console? That's what makes it worth buying.
Josh Homan is here.
Hello, Josh. Welcome.
Dean says banana splits and Sigmund the Sea Monster are even better the fourth time around.
Well, that is definitely an opinion.
Are banana splits bananas in pajama?
No.
They're
They're a musical group of a bunch of different animals. Kind of freaky when you're a kid. Firefly says, I have a 500 gig laptop, a 1 terabyte flash drive, and a 3 terabyte drive hooked to the router with movies on it.
Wow. About this hammer films and such. Dean says, Josh, welcome with all my heart.
Here is the Ultimate Edition Volkswagen Beetle that came in this color or beige with the white wall tires. This guy's asking like 450,000 pesos, and he's got 70,000 kilometers on the car. So he's dreaming. He didn't keep it, in the garage or anything. He's out driving the car, and no, it's not worth anywhere near that with that kind of kilometers on it.
Well, the rest of the movies fall in the strange, threatening ideas category.
People that have really low mile cars, like under 10K kilometers, they ask, about the same price. So why buy one with 70,000 on it?
Darkness says Christopher Lee made a great Dracula. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
he did. He had the face for it. Definitely did. Now this interior was only put in the the last editions. So you're not going to get this interior anywhere else. But as I found out, these weren't the only 2004 models out there. They made some other ones that were VIN 2004s. So I was wrong on that. But I very rarely see a 2004 model for sale. I probably should have bought one and put it away somewhere, even though I didn't have any place to put it away. Because I wasn't living here until 2011. So the car would have had to have been out in the elements. And there's proof. Ultima Edición. Right on the glove box door. But those were the last editions of the Volkswagen air-cooled Beetle.
But I still wonder if I should make a movie reaction channel for Flybaby when she becomes a moody, angsty teen.
No, you need to ignore her when she becomes a moody, angsty teen.
No.
And take everything out of her room so she can stop acting like that.
Stop it. Chris says, so would you drive one of these 2004 models 1,000 miles?
No, I wouldn't drive any air-cooled Beetle 1,000 miles. or an air-cooled van. Can you imagine driving an air-cooled van 1,000 miles at 50 miles an hour?
Um,
That's all they do. And going up a hill, you need somebody to push you from behind.
how long do we drive the Beetle?
40 kilometers, 45 kilometers. Wasn't that enough? I mean, it handles pretty well, but the highways, some of the potholes on the highway are bigger than a Beetle.
Yeah.
So, and especially if you're not paying attention, you're going to lose a wheel. Wheel's going to break right off that sucker. It's just not worth it.
Dean says Bella Legosa, but I don't want to argue.
Lugosi. It's Lugosi, Dean.
Huh?
His name is Bella Lugosi
I don't know what you're talking
with
about.
an I at the end.
Papa says, "Oh, she doesn't act like that now, but I must have contingencies planned so I can harness those bad moods."
Well, if it's not acceptable, it's not acceptable.
Dean says, "Like you, Biofly, he was Superfly."
Is it still the Thunderbird? This is still the Thunderbird Super Coupe, 5 speed. I have never driven one of these with the supercharged engine.
Dean says, "See,
Hmm?
see,
See,
see."
it says and up here. Well, that's not what he said. It's not what it translated to. I'm not sure if this interior was original because most of them had cloth here, but somebody put this beige leather or vinyl. Could be vinyl with the Thunderbird logo on it. Doesn't look that bad in a red car.
Papa says, super cool,
Hmm?
super cool.
Why does it say great cut here? I'm not getting his. It's like translating English to other English. Super Coupe is correct. And to put up here, great cut.
Papa says, "Looks leather."
It could be because it's probably not that expensive to do leather here. And I don't know if it's true, but were there very few 1994 Super Coupes? Was it kind of like phasing out at that time? Because I thought they were just on the early cars, or did they have the Super Coupe all the way through the last one, through 96?
Dean says, "Just like 5.0 215 horsepower engine, but with an optional Mazda 5 speed."
I've only driven the V8s and the V6, but I've never driven a supercharged, and especially not with a 5 speed. I think it would be a hoot to drive. I don't know how hard it pulls though. Early cars only. So this is a even more rare car, Firefly, a '94 Super Coupe. I'm gonna have to look that up to see if they even had until what year they had them.
Dean says, "Yes, they had them for from 89 to 94."
Okay, so this would have been the last year for the Super Coupe then.
Papa says, "Be right back. Dog doesn't like the rain." Oh, send me some rain.
Now here we have a 1980 Jeep J20 that somebody's done quite a bit of work on it. I don't know why everybody likes school bus yellow on their vehicles. I really don't understand that. I published a 70 a 70 Suburban with that color. I published a Datsun 510 wagon with that color, and now there's this one.
That's good.
Yeah, but it's weird on that truck.
No.
Yes.
Dean says, "But why only a four bearing crank?
With only.
With only a four bearing crank, the center hole punch clutch would take out the thrust bearings. 230 horsepower for the last year."
Ooh, so that's even more. I wonder if they kept making the Super Coupe here into 95 and 96. I'm gonna have to check that out. With as big as the bed is on that truck, why don't they take the spare tire off the tailgate and put it in the back of the damn truck. Put a hole down in there somewhere. I don't want it on the back of my long bed truck. I go to look out the back window and all I see is a tire instead of being able to change lanes.
Chris says the Google Translate is working amazingly well tonight. I'm understanding almost everything Dean's been saying tonight.
He hasn't been trying to stump us, Chris.
Dean says,
But now he will, I'm sure.
Buckley says most OEM supercharged engines were turned only to kick in at around 3,000 RPM, so you had to ask for the power early on.
So even though it's a supercharged car, it still feels like a turbo with turbo lag. But you got to look at it this way because, you know, we know they had head gasket problems because of the boost. But if we're 30 years later, 32 years later, they had to have fixed that problem, right? So it's not going to have it again. Doesn't it look like it's blocking the tail light? The spare tire is blocking the tail light.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Or okay, so it's a little bit over. But the whole thing about a supercharger is it's supposed to kick in right away and give you a boost all the way through the range. That's why people go with superchargers instead of turbos. The guy does want quite a bit of money for this, but it has to be a rare truck.
Pablo says not quite turbo lag.
Yeah. This has to be a rare truck with everything it has and how clean it is. I don't know what they're worth though. Or if it's even four-wheel drive.
It says bed. What do you?
I don't know.
Pablo says use power band move up around 500 RPM beyond cruising RPM. Pablo says I never said you couldn't.
Oh, the license plate on that truck, I forgot. It's in Guerrero, Acapulco. So not a place we want to go anyway. Who doesn't like a beautiful black Maverick with all the trim on it? Looks like a grandma's car. This is also in Guerrero.
Baba says couldn't put a small pulley on it.
Yeah, that gets you more. This looks like a completely stock car. And again, with the bright red that blinds you when you open a black door. Watch for the next picture, the next two pictures. Bright red. I'd really like to drive one of these back, one of these Mavericks. 302 under the hood, 4-speed manual transmission. It'd be a lot of fun. You know, 77, they weren't doing much, you know, even with a V8 and a Maverick in the US, it wasn't putting out very much power.
I think it would look better if it was like a two-tone inside.
Two-tone?
Not necessarily like two bright tones or something, but like something different because everything being red is just too much. Either a different tone or a two-tone, like a red and something lighter, like a
Beige.
like a beige or something.
I think Dean is trying to say Valero. It starts with a B.
Valero?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Starts with a B as in burro. Dean, burro. Now this thing here, believe it or not, says it has 27,000 original kilometers on it. There's a picture of the odometer. Is that even possible? Look to see if you can see how clean this truck is. 27,000 original kilometers on it. Also in Guerrero, which is a place that we do not want to go. Acapulco used to be the shit. Mm-hmm. Nobody goes there anymore. Seats do look clean.
Pablo says the Ford Supercharged 4.6 liter had a chiller in it, so it could run more boost.
4.6 supercharged. I don't know what engine, what car was that in? See there, 29,000 kilometers on it. Sorry, 29,000.
They put some dancing lady and some shoes. You mean the dance bolero?
That's also Bolero.
Yeah, that's also with a different B.
And a different A, an O where the A would go.
O.
And it looks like this one's four-wheel drive.
Dean says.
Here's a car for you, Dean. You recognize this one.
That's when. Oh, darling. Dean says, put on your bolero shoes and dance that blues. Why would you dance blues if you're dancing bolero?
This is the car for you, Dean. It showed up on my list, so I put it in here. It's from Australia. Steering wheel on the wrong side and everything. This is a Ford Fairlane.
Says the Harley
Davidson
edition F-150 had the supercharged 4.6 and 5.4 liter, depending on the year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we did get those here.
It says the 3.8 Super Coupe had an intercooler. It says ZJ Fairlane.
It showed up on my list, so what the hell?
Firefly says, oh wait, yeah, it did. Dean, I forgot.
Firefly, what kind of shop do you work at? I'm curious. Is it an independent shop, or is it a dealership, or what?
Dean says 4.9 C minus 100 automatic.
C10 automatic.
C10 automatic. Okay. Why would I say what?
It's not what I think of as a Fairlane, but still, it's a big car. This is a big car. Big car. Long. Big doors on it.
Josh says, what on earth is an Australian car doing in Mexico?
Josh, it's not in Mexico, but I was talking to a guy in Australia about him importing some cars, and every once in a while an Australian car from down there shows up on my feed. So I just figured I'd put it in here because we've never seen one before. I've never seen one of these before, and the steering wheel's on the wrong side. It should be on this side. Put it on this side.
Dean says, it wouldn't ice a tea, though, Bioplay. Bioplay says, just an independent shop. We avoid Euro trash cars, though.
That's a good idea.
Joshua says, looks mid-sized to me. Dean says, Josh, Mexican Spectre is batting for the other Mexican team, bro.
Batting. Should be batting, yeah. There's another Mexican team. It does have power windows. That's nice. I doubt they work, but it's nice. This looks very much like a European Ford type thing. There's no dependability there.
Josh says, makes sense.
I get things from the U.S. too. I see a Maverick or something, and it's like $16,000 or something. Hey, that's a cheap Maverick here in Mexico. Nope, it's not in Mexico.
Dean says, love the steering wheel. Wayne Draper's Strom Springs.
I don't recognize anything on this. Not the engine, not the interior, nothing.
Bioplay says, we used to work on Volkswagens, BMWs, and Mercedes, but the customers were worse than the cars.
I can understand that. They're probably fed up with the car, so they take it out on you.
Yeah. That says low bio.
Here it says low will.
Yeah, that's because yeah.
Okay.
He misspelled it. Dean says everyone in New South Wales and Australia are called Mexicans.
Okay. I don't think the wheels work on this car, but it's one that I've never seen before. A Borg Ward. When you bring out a car, it has to have an attractive name so people like saying the name, like Cougar,
Oh,
Barracuda.
talking about names. I have an interesting story for you. You know the pizza, Little Caesars?
Yes.
They changed their name exclusively in Mexico
Two.
to Little Caesar
They took the S off.
because we couldn't change because we couldn't
It's not grammatically correct.
because we couldn't pronounce it. They changed it so we could pronounce it.
Cesar. Little Cesar. Dean says 4.1 liter, 250 inline six with alloy head and EFI. Biofly says they had no idea what they were driving and expected their parts to be in stock off the shelf. Hey, cat, shut up. Chris says modern German cars are no bueno, but older ones aren't bad to deal with. Well, like the Porsche, there's a warehouse in Reno that has every part you could want for any Porsche they've ever made. People just need to have access to it. Dean Stevenson's. My dad's friend had a 2.6 liter Borgward. Danny Boyd. Wow, never seen a Borgward. Me either. They obviously weren't a popular car. Even Japanese cars are no bueno these days, Josh says. Yep, when you can't trust a Toyota engine, that's pretty bad. What's that?
That's how they changed the name.
What?
Little Caesar.
That's gonna be on the signs?
I don't know. They changed the name into the Mexican way because we couldn't pronounce it, Little Caesars. And they're like, we're not even gonna try to make you pronounce it. We're just gonna change it. So they changed it to Little Caesar.
Dean says the maker went bankrupt and Brazil and Argentina assembled them after the 1962 bankruptcy.
Joey,
do I have to come over there? Joy, do I have to come over there? You better say no.
Dan says not everyone on the Spec household. They kind of do.
No, Joey's fronting on Danny again. And that's not acceptable.
You read Dean, right?
Biofly, there were too many ghetto BMWs lurking around. Also, it cost how much for my luxury import? Yeah. Exactly.
Dan says that's side trim. Dean says a lot like the bakers in Canada and Australia. Dean says made well after the chapter 22. Right, Chris says in any language, Little Caesar means crab pizza.
It tasted good when I ate pizza.
Honestly, it's the best pizza that we have over here. Well, no, it's not the best. It's one of the best.
It's the fastest and pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it the best.
But the Carfax's car seats too high.
Yes, but it's got torsion bars, and I think you can lower it with the torsion bars.
Dean says in front, anyway. BMW made a special 6-cylinder in South Africa based on another bankrupt car BMW inherited. Firefly says the last thing I said to the ghetto BMW driver was, "I didn't build it, break it, or buy it. Just take some responsibility for your actions."
If he doesn't calm down, I'm getting the ruler out.
He doesn't care.
He will when he sees the ruler.
Dan says that tire's almost flat.
On which car? On the green one? Or the van?
Dan says nicely.
It's hard to paint a van and make it come out straight. It takes a lot of prep work. But they didn't even put any carpet inside, so it would need the interior done.
Barbara says, "Yeah, I talk like Wolverine in that heated moment." Dan says, "Left front of the green one."
On cars like that, if it's in the picture, and low on air, I add a set of tires to the price because I'm not going to go there and not be able to drive it back or drive it anywhere because the tires are no good and I don't have the money for the tires.
Yeah.
Car's going to come with a new set of tires, like it or not.
Ben says that's what my friend Non Piano Twitter did when Richard didn't do his lesson. Get the ruler out.
Yep.
Chris says sounds like Kita is inching closer to a whipping.
At least a rulering. I've got a metal ruler. All I have to do is bring it out and they disperse.
Do you want me to get the how do you call it? Oh shoot! I just left my head. The switch. You want me to get the switch?
They wouldn't know what that is. Old McDonald has a car is here. Hey, Old McDonald.
Hey, McDonald. Tomato says, wow, it has a baby making room in it.
Of course, it's a van. It's supposed to. I added this in here. This is a brand new Chinese cargo van that they're selling here for a very reasonable price. So we have to deal with this crap on the ground, driving around here. But it's called Dongfeng. Dongfeng.
Firefly says the tire roll is a good one.
They don't think about what the names mean to us when they put it out here.
Dean says it wasn't abuse, it was gentle correction.
Exactly. And he knows not to do it the next time.
Oh, McDonald says, hi, Mexican Spec, Dean, Dan, and Dean. Firefly says, Dongfeng?
Yep.
What? Vente, 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 rasco, ven. Para que te calmes.
And there, I put another one in here too. Chang'eng, which is a little flatbed truck. Here's Tavo. You want to ask him questions? Hello, Tavo.
Hey, Tavo.
Mrs. Spec has questions for you. Believe says, just another Dongfeng baby.
Have questions.
Dan says, she's got dong fangs. That's right.
Let me know when Tavo's ready.
Buddy says, a switch was a tree branch my grandmother hit me with.
Yeah,
that is right.
That's what I said.
But my ruler works and it's reusable.
I don't have to go fetch it.
Are you ready for 2 questions, Tavo? Mrs. Spec is stumped. Yes, Tavo says, I know nothing. Cut me a switch, boy.
Are you coming down? No, yeah.
Firefly says, introducing the Feng Shui. It will rearrange your life for the bargain price of
smacking.
Go ahead and ask.
Okay. So I was given the
you have to type it in.
The quotations homework because it's not really a homework. I was given a set of words that are related to Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and that area. And I was given a list of locations that I'm supposed to like pin them with. And I have 2 words that I have not been able to pin them with any of these locations that I have left. I have more locations than words. So, shush. No, I said shush. So the first word is Jacona. Let me spell it. Jacona, which I believe is Cava. It's another word for Cava. And the locations that I have for that will be the Pinnacles, the Uluru Katajuta National Park, Kangaroo Island, Queenstown, Waitomo Glowworm Caves, New Caledonia, and Wailele, but I have no idea. Any idea?
Why isn't Kim here to see this?
Ah, dances Jones Crusher, Jeans Crusher, Deadly Jaws, Better Get the Gauze. Since Savo knows all about Japan. Belfast says a list of occasions. Dean says back feng shui is when you have no back door exit. Dan says meow. Belfast says loaded phrase alerting. Paul McDonald says I bet cold air bothers him. The wind blows right through him. Dean says Aussies and Kiwis need more alerts. Chris says Mexican Spec. Are you a Mexican Spec?
Pretty close.
He does help you when you're outside cleaning the car. He supervises. Yeah.
Here's the Chang'an Star Truck regular cab. Well, this is the kind of stuff that they sell here, and people actually use it on the street. Yeah. Uh-oh.
What?
You're stuck. None of that sounds familiar to Tavo.
Okay. So the other word that I have no idea what it is, I think it's a location, is Tahuna. I think that's how you spell it. The A might not be correct.
It translated to the noise over here.
No, it's Tahuna.
It says over here the noise
Okay.
in chat. Turn and face the strange cha cha changon.
That was it. That's bigger than the Suzuki I used to drive for work. Yeah. Chris says folding down sides is ripped off from early combi trucks.
Yes, it is.
Dean says that's the sound of the men driving in the Chagan.
So we have to share the road, and see in front of it there's a pickup truck. I didn't get a picture of that. I didn't get any pictures of that, but they're selling them as regular pickup trucks. I don't know where they stole the design from, but we got 25 Chinese companies selling vehicles in Mexico, and we have to share the roads with them. I have not heard about BYD burning down here. You know, individual cars or the dealerships.
They're pretty close to us. So.
Yes, they are very close. These are gasoline. They're not electric. These two Chinese vehicles, they're gasoline, not electric. The 300,000 pesos for this vehicle, which would be $16,000-$17,000 or something for a work truck. Josh says it's a bit refreshing. There's no screen in it. That's right, because they don't need a screen. It's a work truck. I doubt it even has air conditioning. And then Old McDonald says, aren't those tall roof vans squirrely in the winds? Oh yes, definitely. All of them. The not so much tall, but narrow. They're narrow. They have a narrow stance, and they're not very stable. What is this?
I don't know. You put it there.
It's another Bronco 2. Yeah, another Bronco 2 for Kim that's not here. She's off doing things. They said they're not going to do a live tonight. They didn't do a live on Thursday. They're doing family stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they're taking a break too. But, you know, I wanted to show Kim this is what a Bronco 2 should look like. Inside and out.
Send it on an email.
It's more funny when it's in live.
I guess. Old Man McDonald says, are those tall roof fans swirling the winds?
Yes.
Dean says, Tahuna uh, wastewater treatment plant, St. Clair, Dunedin, New Zealand. No, that's not one of the options.
Buff and Kim are not going to be live tonight, Old McDonald. They're usually on Thursday nights in the shop, Saturday nights in the shop, and Tuesday night in the office.
Papa says, okay, time for dinner.
Yeah, it's about time for dinner for me too. Except
Yeah.
it's going to take an hour to cook my spaghetti.
Goodbye, Flight. Thank you for being here.
Good night, Vilefly. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow.
He says, please do not hack the PLC control system. Papa says, later on, I think I will go hunt down some ice cream. Oh, ice cream. McDonald says, okay.
We did that last week.
Yes. Dean
Tomorrow
says,
we're going to make another video for members only. So if you want to see our personal videos, you should sign up to be a member. We put
yes.
the first video was Mrs. Spec dancing. You can see how embarrassed she is. And then yesterday I posted the next one, which was a 40-minute video of completing the promise that money was donated so I could go buy Mrs. Spec her hot dog and her cup of corn. And we recorded it in real time, going to get it and eating it, and then getting the corn and eating it.
Dean says, off the campo and Kimbuki.
Yep.
Armageddon says, thanks. Chris says, Firefly later, dude. Chris says, an hour to cook spaghetti? Are you cooking it on a holy hobby oven or something?
No, Chris, it's gluten-free spaghetti, so it takes a long time to get soft enough to be able to eat it.
Also, he likes the spaghetti to be mush.
No, I don't.
Yes, he does.
No, it takes about 45 minutes to get it to be soft enough to be able to eat it.
Yeah, mush.
No, it's not that soft.
It's mush.
It does not get that soft.
Mm-hmm. No, mira, me pegó.
No, I didn't. I tried to pinch her, but my nails didn't work.
Yeah, he tried. See? Tell him something. He says, yes, all McDonald's very much so. Dean says, I'm heartbroken. Why?
Gotta keep an eye out for this cat. So if you want to see more of the personal side, then you should sign up to be a member, because we're going to try to put out a video every week, of something we did over the weekend or something. And so you could see more of our town, where we are. We're going to go to the park up here. It's one of the biggest parks around. It is the biggest park around. And we're going to record there and how things are now.
Old McDonald says, yes, the average couple's conversation.
Are we average?
Don't know. Chris says, so Dean, I'm sure Mrs. Ecstasy will cheer you up. Could cheer you up. Dean says, because I'm not an OnlyFans yet. Okay. An OnlyFans? OnlyFans. That's not the type of content that we're delivering, darling.
Yeah. When we're out on the highway, doing a delivery or whatever, I don't know what kind of video we're going to be able to post for the members. We'll have to figure something out in another town. Something that we don't know, what we've never been to before. Buddy wants to know what sauce I'm putting on my spaghetti. That would be meat flavored ragu sauce. And then, of course, Parmesan cheese. That's what I like.
Don't need my Parmesan. It's mine.
No, I have the other one. It's a full one. It's measured out. Three servings.
And so she did. She told me if I didn't pack the laundry away, I'd get the bash. So I waited. McDonald says, I've been with my wife for 36 years. So you can imagine some of our conversations flow.
I hope you still laugh together.
Yeah.
Because that helps a lot. And if you, I think I've told my son this, that if we're making fun of other people, it makes us laugh. So it helps with the relationship. Yeah. We have nothing to do but laugh. Doesn't matter how bad things get, we're still laughing at things. So that helps a lot. The guy on this car wants so much money for this, but I think I'm going to post it anyway because he has put a lot of money into it. I know Olive didn't really like the purple, but and I'm not a fan of the interior. But if you notice, this is a two-door hardtop Plymouth Valiant, which is a car they never sold in the US. It's a Mexican-only car.
Dean says, me too, oh my gosh. You've been with Mrs. Ecstasy for 36 years? Wow. How long have we been together without
He doesn't look that old.
hunting marriage and togetherness?
18 years.
18 years. Wow.
Yeah, you're 36. You're 37. 19 years.
They asked me my age at the doctor's, and I was like, oh shit, hold on. Like,
Do the math.
I can't, especially under pressure. And I just gave her an age, like whatever, like I said, this, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Amadon says, yes, we laugh at each other, especially when we seem to say or see or think the same thing. Yeah.
Then you owe her a Coke. I think Danny Boyd owes me 2 Cokes.
Yeah.
Because my message was on there first and we said the same thing.
Amadon says, we even finish each other's sentences.
Been together for a long time.
It says August 25, 36 years, married 1990. Wow.
Wow. You didn't even look that old, Dean, in your dancing video.
That was I noticed that we sort of got a 69 two-door hardtop, but that one was a Dart with our Valiant front and interior.
So it's a mix of different things.
Lester says, looks like a Barney's Valiant.
Like Barney's Valiant. Yes, but he probably couldn't get inside it, Lester.
Yeah.
Old McDonald, do you finish things like she says, get, and you yell, the F out, like that?
Stop. Your comment says, that is the way it should be. Yes. Holy Carafana says, be fun driving that Bronco cross country.
I can't even drive it to the border. I haven't published it for sale because it's not that far from me, but there's no way I would be able to drive this on the highway that we have to the border. There's no way. With these wheels on it, no way on that road. No way. We would be bouncing all over the place.
Chris says, it'll be 29 years for us in October. McDonald says, Dean, the dancing machine.
And this thing has been for sale for like 3 years that I know of. So I'm not sure how I would get it there. It is a manual, it'd be fun to drive, but I think that it would be bouncing all over the place, honestly.
Dean says, is the expensive Jewish plastic surgery makes an effect? That's why he doesn't look old. Barracuda says, Barracuda, hey Barracuda.
Hey Barry. You're not going to like his comment.
When my father died, I cut him in half and counted his rings. He was 88. Aww. That was says, you do a straight line cross country.
No. This thing is a little bit north of me, so I would go directly to the border and deliver it to the client. But I think mechanically it's original. 351 and then the 4-speed, and I mean there's a lot of money in this truck, in the shocks and everything, and I bet you it would probably sell for double in the US after a huge detail or paint correction and all that. But I'm not sure how I would transport it to the border. Maybe put tiny little wheels on it and get it up on a trailer. I don't know. Then where would I put the wheels? Because they won't fit in my Durango.
Dean says, I believe in miracles.
Miracles.
And Dean says, 88 is a good number. McDonald says, my age is 5 years more than the year I was born in. What?
My age is 5 years more than the year I was born in.
So if he was born in like 66, he is 71 or something like that.
Probably.
Something like that.
That doesn't work in mathematical.
What's going on with the music outside? Dean says March 29th, the same one as my other brothers. Brothers. Brother. Then it is -6 less.
This happens to be my car. It's sitting out in front of the house, and the sun is fading all of the bright orange stickers that are on it. I'm really going to need to get a car cover for it because it's really not good.
Dean was born in a leap year.
I knew a family down the street from me. One kid was born on February 28th, another kid was born on March 1st. Neither of them were born on a leap year. Wait, 68. 68 was a leap year, wasn't it?
I guess. Yeah. Oh my god, say don't age me more by don't age me more by 5 more years, please. I don't. I was just guessing. I was just saying out loud. Dean says born in the domicile date for a leap year.
68 was a leap year, right? Yeah, that's when one of them was born. So he missed it by one day. Or he could have been like 4 years old.
And the leap year is the one where the February has one more day. So
that's why I'm saying one of them was born on February 28th, the other was born on March 1st. They both missed it. But one of them was born in 68, so that was a leap year. He could have been born on the leap year.
Dean says just like 10/5 not being one.
10/5 is 2. See, this is our car sitting out in front. It's the one that Mrs. Spec wants to drive, but it keeps coming up with more and more and more problems.
McDonald says, weren't those AMX 4-wheel drive?
No, this is an AMC Spirit. This is not even an AMX. It's just a US Spec Spirit that was brought to Mexico in like 20 something years ago. It was painted black, unless it was black originally. I'm not even sure. And then they put the AMX package on it. But it says it has a 4.6 liter under the hood. The Eagles were the 4-wheel drives. These did come in 4-wheel drives in this body style. They also had the Gremlin body style that came in the 4-wheel drive, the 4-door sedan, and the 4-door wagon. There's actually a brown 4-door sedan across the California Channel here in La Paz, California, Baja California Sur, that I'm going to be posting. It's a 4-wheel drive AMX in really nice condition. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to bring it over here because it has border plates on it. It's not really registered to be inside Mexico.
George Thomas says it was. A good way to tell a leap year is to see if it was an U.S. presidential election year. All presidential election years are leap years.
Right, right. But it was weird in that one family there were 2 kids that were born February 28th and March 1st. I don't even know if the girl was born. She could have been born on March 29th because I don't remember what year she was born. And then they just celebrated on March 1st. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Dean says, oops, 5/10 Lex Texas.
5/10 is a half.
Oh, McDonald says a 426 or a 4.26 liter.
A 4.6 liter inline 6, which was a Mexico only engine, which is a 282. The 4.2 was sold in the US. The 4.6 was only sold in Mexico. And this Monte Carlo is a Mexico only Monte Carlo too, because it has a 350 under the hood and a factory 4-speed manual. Very few of these are available. This one is available for sale. The guy just sent me a week ago sent me a message saying, hey, what's going on? Because he knows I'm trying to sell it for him. The rear wing on this does not look right because there should not be space between the wing and the tail light. But who knows? It has no HVAC system in it. They took it out. I don't know who, if they were racing it or something, so that would have to be put back in to make it really nice. But the Mexican Monte Carlo has the Pontiac instruments. It has power locks, no power windows. It has a wood steering wheel. Actually, the wood steering wheel that's in my AMX out here is from a Monte Carlo. Is from a Monte Carlo SS in '84. I just don't have the center hood thing on the center horn cap. But yeah, they wanted these to look different from the US cars for sure. And those are the original seats in it, the plush blue buckets.
Old McDonald says nice Monty. But the
Mhm.
Carfana says Grand Prix dashboard.
Yeah, the instruments are from the Pontiac. When these Monte Carlos came out in '81, the Malibu was already being sold at the dealership, and it had the Malibu, the US style dashboard in it. And when they didn't want the Monte Carlo to have the same instrument panel as the Malibu, so they put the Pontiac instruments in there, which I like a lot more than the claustrophobic Chevrolet that has two pods on each side with lights and stuff. So yeah, I'd rather have the Pontiac instruments. They look better. But I haven't seen a white one for sale for a while. They came in white and the dark blue, and those are the only two colors they came in with a 4-speed. It's the car they should have made in the U.S., but they couldn't because it was faster than the Corvette, and they couldn't have that. Imagine how many 4-speed manual Monte Carlo SSs would have been sold at the dealerships in the U.S. That would have been fun. But okay, we're back to the beginning of the pictures now. So I think we're gonna get out of here, guys. I have to start my food because I'm not gonna eat until 7 something now.
Okay.
Did you guys down there get the mid '70s Cordobas, Chargers, and Muratas? Nope, those cars were never sold here. There are some here that were imported over the years, but they were not sold here. The dealerships were limited to 4 model names they were allowed to sell, and Chrysler had the Dart, had the Volare, the Valiant Volare, and the K cars and stuff like that. But no, they didn't. We didn't have any of those stuff. None of that here. Okay, guys. Hopefully, we'll see some of you tomorrow. We'll be on at 8:15 Pacific time at night, and of course, showing the same cars. So, good night, everybody.
Thank you so much for being here. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.